Good morning and welcome to RAF Valley on the island of Anglesey in North Wales. This morning I'm going to take a look at the Dreamfoil Bell 407, which is a very nice model from Dreamfoil, very realistic, and colour schemes and systems are really nice. As you can see, if we go a little bit more close up to it, I've got the tie downs on at the moment. Usually put those on for overnight parking. And shortly we will go inside the cockpit and I will remove the tie downs. The headset is still on the hook there, so I'll take it off, put it on, and now we'll go to the customizable view, which we want the external menu, and remove the ties. So as you can see now, the ties have been removed from the rotors. So we'll now go to the overhead panel, and this is how to start the Bell 407. First of all, we'll put some lights on and we'll switch the battery on and we'll get some alarms, as you can hear. We'll look above that and we'll switch the booster transfer pumps on and the flight instruments on. We'll now go back down and look at the collective, test the collective up, down. We'll test the flight controls, torque pedals, anti-torque pedals, and the joystick. Flight controls are tested. We'll bring the throttle up to idle, as you just saw there. Now if we zoom in on the control panel, we'll silence the alarm because that can be quite irritating. You can listen to that alarm for quite a while. So now I'm ready to start the engine after I've switched the fuel on. I'll switch the fuel on with that switch there, close the lockdown hood, and then we'll click start. And you can hear the engine's about to start. You monitor the torque gauge, which is here, to make sure the rotor blades are starting to turn before 25% torque. So you can see the shadow of the rotor blades there as this begins to turn, and we're starting to rotate before we've got 25%. That's fine. You can see the slight rocking movement of the fuselage. Now go back up to the overhead panel and I'll reset the generator and I'll switch the avionics master to on. The lights are all on. We'll bring up some panel lighting, though it's quite bright this morning. We'll release the artificial horizon attitude indicator from its cage and switch on the GPS system, the Garmin GPS, and the transponder. Now we're not going to be in contact with air traffic control this morning, so I'm just leaving the squawk code as it is at 1200, which is here. I'm going to test the torque pedals again once more, and the flight control stick, the cyclic stick. Back, forward, left and right. Now, as you can see in the middle dial here, we've got rotational speed of the main rotor disc, so we need to increase the main rotor by increasing the throttle, and you can hear the throttle, the engine as we start to increase the throttle. We put the alarms back on, we're looking for 90%, 99 to 100% revs, and well, that's it, we're ready. So if we go outside the aircraft, we can zoom in and we can see that we're all ready for a takeoff now. Back inside, I'm going to activate the stability augmentation system. I've got a key map to that, so that's the stability system in place. We'll take a look around to the left and to the right to make sure we're okay, we're clear. And now I'm about to lift into the hover and move forward. Increase with the collective, and up she comes nicely. So I'm going to taxi out to runway 14, if we can find it, and then we'll take off and do a short flight around RAF Valley. The crossing runway is runway 1432, so I'm just going to turn left, crossing the boundaries there. Remember, we don't have air traffic control clearance today, we're just flying without air traffic. And then I can use the length of the runway to bring my speed up to continue on the flight. We look just off to our right there, it's the town of Rosniger. We'll continue our climb. A helicopter needs to have force trim control, which I've mapped to the joystick. So if I engage the force trim control now, we'll continue to climb, but our speed will start to reduce slightly. This is Rosniger off to our right hand side. To our left hand side we can see some of the Snowdon mountain range in the foreground there. And we can see the Llyn Peninsula just off to our right there. Now I'm not going to go very far today. I'm going to start the descent and I'm going to turn the helicopter around back towards RAF Valley to the reciprocal runway, which is runway 32 from 14. I'm using some cyclic control, some rudder torque pedal control as I turn onto the runway heading, and there we can see runway 32. That's a little bit rough and ready for the passengers, but it's just a test video today. So now I'm going to start my descent into RAF Valley. We can see some nice beaches there off to the left of the runway, and we can see the descent instrument here. We're descending at about 600 foot per minute, which is not quite enough, so I'm going to increase that a little bit more. You see we're at 1800 feet, QFE 1011. We're still okay for the runway, so we'll continue our descent. The speed is quite high, as you can see. That's about 95 miles an hour, roughly. And we'll come over runway 32. As you can see the caravan there waiting for us. Directly on our nose is Holy Island, which is near the town of Holyhead, which is a port. To the left hand side is the Rotary base, which we'll be heading for now. To the right hand side we can see the Hawk dispatching area and the control tower with the fire station next to it, which is just there. Forward again now. We need to reduce our speed. It's still going quite fast, so we'll bring the nose back up and increase the collective so we don't descend too quickly. And you can see our speed is reducing now. We're overhead the Rotary base now at RAF Valley. We can see some of the RAF's helicopters here. As I turn around, bring my speed down further, watching all the time for a system where we lose lift. We've lost a little bit of lift there, but we're okay now, regained it. I'm going to attempt to park next to that helicopter you can see in the foreground. Two Chinooks just over to the right there in the distance. Speed is very low now. Walking pace is what we need. Using the torque pedals to make a right turn. And we'll start to drift off to the left and to the right. We correct that and we start to lower the collective. And I can see we're drifting backwards. So we correct that, wait, and then we're down. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching.